What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/ChoosingBeggars. As Tenacious D says at 3 minutes 22 seconds in the song Tribute, that word added on to the beginning of. Here we have first story called Man at Target asked for a few bucks, then demanded I take him up front and pay for his entire cart. Wow. Mobile warning! Now to the story. I typically never give money to anyone. I'm not the most trusting person when it comes to strangers. I'm walking through Target and I know I gotta get some Prego for some spaghetti squash later, so I turn the corner and begin browsing. As I push my cart through the aisle, this man in rather tattered clothes motions for me and hands me a clipboard. On the laminated paper, it explains to me that this man is mostly deaf and that he's struggling for money and anything helps. I stop about halfway and let him know that I don't have cash. He motions to the bottom of the paper and explains that he would be grateful if you don't have cash. You could buy an item he needs or help him partially at checkout. He starts speaking and telling me what he has, and I noticed by his voice, he's definitely very hard of hearing. His cart mostly has cheese, bread, jam, and some meat. It seems legit, and I felt bad. Being the sometimes outstanding person I am, I reach into my wallet. There's a few ones and a $10 bill. And I did say sometimes, so I just pull out the $3 and hand it to the man. He says thank you and starts unfolding the dollar bills and gets real mad and starts motioning towards his cart. What is this supposed to pay for? This is $3. This won't help me. I'm definitely taken aback by this and just say it's all I'm going to give him. This won't even pay for most of my items. Can you give me more? No, obviously. Come on, I need food. Can you at least bring my cart up front and pay for it for me? This money does nothing. Again, no. I tell him I paid for 1 or 2 of his items and that's all I'm doing. He flips me off and shoves the money in his pockets and turns around. You could have at least paid for 7 or 8 of my items. This money is useless. I'm just in disbelief and just want to leave, so I start walking away. Faith in humanity lost, and $3 down in pocket change. He attempts to heckle me more, but I just leave. I let my boyfriend know what happened, and he puts me on the phone until I leave the store. What a weird day. Hey, it's okay. You know what? You try to do a good thing, and that's all that matters. If my name is Earl is to be believed, you should be fine. Man, Carson Daly's a genius for coming up with karma. That's so great because of Carson Daly, karma makes sure good things happen to good people and bad things happen to bad people. Isn't he great? Alright, here we have a story called A Literal Choosing Beggar. A Literal Choosing Beggar. This is my first post here, as I usually just lurk this subreddit. But something so insane happened today that I just had to share it, just for context. This story happens in Romania. Our currency is a Romanian leu. It's about 0.2 euros. Prices in Romania are pretty low. A bread, for example, costs 1 or 2 lei. So me and 2 friends just finished hanging out at a bar restaurant. We're in college, so we're really strapped for cash. After paying for the drinks, we had a combined 40 lei. My friends both had 10 and I had 20. Since we all lived pretty far away and it was late, we decided to share an Uber, which would cost about 30. Awesome! We decided we'd all pitch in 10 lei, ordered an Uber, and started waiting for it. This is when Choosing Beggar approaches us. It's a woman, about 45 to 50 years old, wearing dirty clothes and had a sign that loosely translated to, "Please help me, my son is sick and I have to pay for medical bills." She asks us if we have some money to spare. At this point, this seemed perfectly normal. just a beggar asking for cash. I still have 10 lei left, which I wouldn't spend that night, so I thought, what the heck, might as well help her. Maybe her story is actually true. I get out my wallet and hand her the 10 lei note. She takes it and looks shocked, like I had just insulted her family. This is the conversation that ensues.
What the heck is this?
What do you mean?
Are you seriously only gonna give me 10 lei? You spoiled frickin' brat! I could see you have more!
Just for your information, usually people give between 1 and 5 to beggars. 10 is actually quite generous. That is literally all the money I have left.
No, you're lying! I saw you had 10 more!
And points to my wallet, then to my friends.
What about you, Cooters? Are you really not gonna help at all? My son is dying!
Listen, lady, we don't have any money left. My name already gave you all he had left. He was kind, and you're being an entitled piece of crap. You're lucky I don't take that note and shove it so far up your ass you crap money all week. Leave us the frick alone. Admittedly, that was kind of rude, but under the circumstances, I think it wasn't at all out of place. This is where things get spicy. Choosing Beggar punches my friend hard. He has braces, and his whole upper lip and half of his lower lip were pierced by them from the punch. He was bleeding bad. After this, she has the absolute nerve to scream that she will call the police. What is the reason, you may ask? That we're freaking mean to her. Yeah, I know. Not only that, this happened in one of the most crowded places in Bucharest, Old Town. The street was literally packed with people who saw the entire encounter. A witness did call the police, but not for the reason Choosing Beggar thought. When the cops came, she tried to spin the story to make it look like we were the villains. But obviously, a ton of people who were present backed us up. A policeman who was a literal god made her give me back my 10 lei and then arrested her for assault and disturbing the peace. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he made her give me back the money. It's not like I was dying to have it back after the whole incident, but the look on that twat's face made my day. That's pretty much all. My friend had to get some stitches, but is now fine. He obviously decided to press charges, but the Choosing Beggar is facing 2 months in jail. By the way, hope this gets on r/'s channel. He's the best. r/the best. Well, someone obviously has not gone on YouTube very much because they obviously haven't seen Marky. That guy's the best. He's so dreamy. Anyway, really good story, man. Really nice of you to give your last little bit of money to someone who you thought was in need. But obviously, she wasn't very grateful. So yeah, Choosing Beggar. A literal Choosing Beggar. They did not lie with the title. This story's called Buy My Used Laptop for Twice What I Paid for It. Had a friend, Louie, who is going through a tough time. The extra circumstances of which are less tragic than you'd at first conclude, but that's beyond the point of this post. One day, Louis texts me asking if I'd like to buy his laptop as he has no use for it anymore. Now, 2 previous years, I'd taken him to Walmart to buy a laptop and found a really decent Asus listed at $220 with a $60 off sticker clearance tag, so I recommended he buy it and he did. Bearing this in mind, I said sure. He says, great. I'm thinking like 3 or 4, so come by with cash and we'll talk about it. Taken aback. I hope you don't mean $300 or $400. That laptop was $220 before the discount. It's also 2 years older now and in the apartment of someone who smokes. It wouldn't be worth $50, but I know you're in a tight spot, so I'd offer you $100 for it, as I only want the video card to cannibalize and put in my old laptop. Guess who isn't friends with Louis anymore? Edit! Clarification. He wasn't open to negotiation. I recommended if he really wanted the most money for it, he could try and return it to Walmart, but since he didn't have the receipts, it would be a toss-up as to whether or not they'd even take it back for full price. No, they wouldn't. Why would they do that? That is a horrible business decision on their part, honestly. Why would they do that? Alright, this story's called I Can Finally Cross This Off My Bucket List. So, my husband has friends, 1 and 2. They're not important in this story though. 1 is married to my friend, and 2 is married to Joanne. Now, I understand trying to enter into a set dynamic and insert yourself into a clique as the new kid is hard. I worked very hard to be as welcoming as possible, but something about Joanne rubbed us wrong. Was it the fact that she was not working or going to school and had asked or demanded to buy her a car, find a bigger house for them to live in, pay for fertility treatments, and pay for a wedding all in the first 6 months of them dating? Yes. But also, she wore a white dress to both my wedding, rude, and tries to sell us it works all the frickin' time. But the piece de resistance was this interaction. Keep in mind, this is the first time Joanne has called me outside of asking if I want to join her downline.
Hey, y'all have a guest room, right?
Well, it's more like a big closet for my cosplay stuff that also has a pull-out couch in it. Why? Her husband
and I are coming to Tennessee for a 2-week vacation and to go to my family reunion, but there aren't any hotels in our budget, so I figured we could stay with y'all.
Oh, well, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say no. Like I said, it's more a closet than anything, but also since the social distance order is still in place, I can't condone a large group of people getting together like that. I'm sorry, but maybe it's best you stay in South Carolina? What, is that close to Tennessee? Okay, I just checked a map, and no, it's kind of close. There's like a little sliver of North Carolina that protects South Carolina from you Tennessee folk. So like North Carolina's like South Carolina's protective big brother. Oh, I like that dynamic. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's fine. No one in my family has Modelo. Also, you can just move your costumes to your own room, right? You'll have to buy a real bed, though, since we are trying for a baby. Haha. Or you can take the guest room and Em and I will stay in yours.
No. One, even if no one has obvious symptoms, they may still be carrying the virus. My sister is pregnant and my mother has an autoimmune disorder, and I'm not taking any risk of this thing getting to them. 2, my cosplay stuff is in the room because it's the only storage space we have. I'm not shoving it into my bedroom where it won't fit. 3, we can't afford a new bed or there would be one in the guest room. And 4, you are not screwing in my bed, ever. What the?
Well, I see how it is. You know, I told
her husband
you are a selfish, two-faced bimbo, but he swore
my husband
wouldn't be with someone like that. Obviously, they're both wrong. I'm going to tell
her husband
about this, and when he tells
my husband,
you'll be in for a rude awakening. I hope he takes you to hand and shows you what a bimbo you've been and teaches you how to act properly.
Me, who has been taken to hand by 2 partners and is still dealing with PTSD from it, which she knows. Did you really just freaking imply you hope my husband hits me because I won't let you stay at our house and put us and our family at potential risk?
I'm just saying that a real lady wouldn't act so stuck up and that someone needs to teach you a lesson.
Holy fornication under consent to the king? What is this, 1820? You're psychotic. I'm gonna tell him all of this so that when your husband calls to complain, you'll have the full freaking story, you crazy ass. I'm gonna block you now. Kindly step off forever.
I knew you were a heartless cooter. You never do anything for anyone. You couldn't even support my business venture and probably laughed with
my friend.
And when I had to stop selling my products because of people like you telling everyone my products are toxic, screw you!
So that's my tale of woe, or bafflement at least. My husband had to hold me down because I was shaking so bad from the anger. But it's been like a week, and honestly, I'm just amazed. This bimbo really, Teal dear, told me that she would be staying in my home so she could ignore quarantine and meet up with a bunch of people, demand I adjust my life to suit hers, tell me she was gonna screw in my bed, and then wish my husband abused me? On the bright side, friend, and I did laugh about her failed multi-level marketing pyramid scheme and the fight she and her husband got into when mine called saying Joanne triggered my PTSD. I'm petty and she can get screwed. I agree. Joanne can go and get scredoozled, as OP said.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.